and thank you for joining us on this edition of Citywise. My name is Andrea Gazzetta from the City of Rochester. Joining us today on this edition of Citywise are Dee Banks, the co-chair of the Youth Services Quality Council, and Joanne Coast, the co-chair for the annual event for the Youth Services Quality Council. Ladies, thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
I'd like to start out by just asking what exactly it is that the Youth Services Quality Council, which is better known as the YSQC, known for, and how did it originate?
Well, it originated 12 years ago, back in '93, and what happened is people wanted a forum or a voice for youth-serving agencies to come together and actually share information, educational information, get to know each other, and collaborate together to bring additional and enhanced services for the youth. Okay. So since then, we have been meeting on a monthly basis, and we have what we call executive meetings as well as a policy meeting, which all membership organizations. There are about 64 youth-serving organizations that are members of the YSQC.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. And now the theme, building a better community for youth and families, that has become synonymous with your organization. Can you tell us a little bit about that theme and why it was selected and what it means for our community?
What it means is that we have to recognize as a community, the youth are very much a part of what goes on in this community.
Right.
And what we're trying to do at the YSQC is make sure we build activities that youth can become involved with, as well as creating opportunities for exposures for the community to get involved and work and do service projects and different activities, or maybe mentor youth. And through the activities that we sponsor at the YSQC, those kinds of things actually happen. We're involved with several activities during the course of the year, and one being Youth at Service, which is a community service project that the youth take on, and I believe you might have some pictures on that, that they take on, and they're actually working with adults in the community, be it working at a garden or be it doing work at retirement home or something like that. The youth are always involved. Each agency also plans their own individual activities for their youth. Some of the membership agencies that we have, of course, are the City of Rochester, as well as Monroe County, places like Community Place of Greater Rochester, Urban League, ABC, the settlement houses like Baden and Swan, as well as direct centers in the counties. So there's 60, like I said, 64 agencies that are involved and support the YSQC.
That's great. Now, who can join the YSQC, and what are some of those organizations that are already members?
Well, as I just mentioned, we have a variety of agencies, such as the settlement houses in the community, the county recreation departments, city human services, county human services, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, places like that. Everyone that serves youth in the city or county of Monroe is more than welcome to take out a membership with the YSQC. We have an orientation process that we take our new members through. There is a membership fee, and then they are always expected to attend our monthly meetings.
Right. Okay. Now, you had visited this show last year in December to tell us about your special annual event. Could you tell us just about the activities and the accomplishments that you've achieved since then?
Well, I think we're heading for our annual event this year, but some of the accomplishments that we as a group and organization have done, Dee had mentioned about getting together all the agencies. One day this summer we had all the youth come out and actually work at Ontario Beach Park. So we had representation from all of the youth service agencies down there doing some work in gardening and planting. Each of the agencies in their own right have their own accomplishments, but we all come together in December of each year at our annual meeting, and that's when we share what's going on and then get together and have everybody enjoy the day. We have a wonderful guest speaker this year, which is Dr. Jody Kretzman.
Great.
And
now, when is this program and where is it being held? Could you give us some details about the breakfast?
Sure, I can. It's going to be held on Friday morning, December 9th, at the Hyatt Regency. And our keynote speaker for the event is Dr. Jody Kretzman. And he is he's the co-director of the Asset-Based Community Development Institute out of Northwestern University. And the reason Dr. Kretzman was chosen is he is known worldwide on community building processes, working. His research out there has been phenomenal. He's also tied in with our Healthy Communities, Healthy Youth initiative in the county regarding the 40 developmental assets. So it just broadens countywide what we are all doing individually out there as agencies working to help youth, adult youth partnerships. I know in like our garden project, for instance, we have youth working together, and to have youth start out with a patch of raw land,
Right.
and then to have them work very hard over the summer weeding, and then the daily watering and coming out, and then finally actually having the plants come through and bear fruit, and then for them to turn around and have that food, that produce, fresh produce, donated to the local food cupboards and to senior citizens. That's just an example of all of what our youth service agencies are doing out there. But it gives those kids those added assets as resources. They feel valued
By their community.
by doing that. And to hear them say how all their hard work at the end here and what we've done to
Right.
be able to help the city, to help others. And that gives them not only just learning about gardening, some of them never even had their hands in dirt before,
Right.
to actually see something grow. And to nurture not only the produce, but it's nurturing them. So we,
That is
as I
great.
always say, we grow more than vegetables out there. We are growing these lives. They're
Absolutely.
learning new skills. But Kretzmann will touch upon that because he talks about how do you connect youth and community? How do you, and youth need all the help they can get out there today.
Right.
It's not just on the home front. It's everyone in the community embracing youth. How do you go about that? How do you acknowledge kids today? You go to the grocery store, they're wearing a name tag. Did you ever think to say, hi, you know, Sharisha, hi, Tanika, hi, Sam, hi, Joe? You know, those little things to recognize youth are so important to kids, to help them and to move forward.
That's great. Now, I understand that this year you also have a program in the afternoon in addition to the breakfast?
Yes, we do. And our co-sponsor for the afternoon workshop is the Genesee Valley Youth Bureau Association, Genesee Valley Finger Lakes, actually. So we've broadened. He's such a great speaker that his topic is shared by many throughout the state, and of course through youth bureaus, because our energies are into that initiative. And that's going to be at the Girl Scouts at Genesee Valley. They're hosting the afternoon workshop, and that's going to be from 1 to 4. And we're going to continue the dialogue with Dr. Kretzmann at that point on how do we mobilize community, how do you map that out, and where do we go from here.
Well, these sound like great events. Now, who else could you encourage from the community to come and attend?
Anyone that has a sincere interest in youth and helping youth are more than welcome to come. We'd love to have them.
Yes.
Great. And now, is there a number where people can call?
Yes, the Rochester Monroe County Youth Bureau number at 753-6450. If you call, that's the main line. They can certainly help you out with that.
Great.
And there's also information on the YSQC website,
Yeah.
ysqc.org.
Okay. Now, you ladies seem to be very committed to your work and have a great passion for what you do. Now, why do you think you are so dedicated to this, and what made you go into this field and choose to really help the youth in our community?
Oh, that's an excellent question, and the interesting part about it is that at one point in our lives we were in the same position and someone cared enough, and it's important to us how we leave the community and to make sure that the kids get opportunities to develop themselves and to understand public speaking skills as well as leading projects. There's many things they need an opportunity to do so they can take on leadership roles, and without people such as us and YSQC, that wouldn't happen for many of these kids. This is very, very valuable work that we're all doing.
It's very important.
I think, too, if you think back to your childhood, if you can think back what adults helped you, and you think back, you know that kids today need help.
Absolutely, they do.
And it's that's why we're here.
Yep.
Make it a better world, we hope. We
Yes.
try.
Now, if other people want to get involved and show their support, what activities can they participate in?
Well, actually, we would like people to come to our annual breakfast because that's where you can learn a lot about us, as well as meet people, start putting faces and names together, see what kind of things we do, and following up with a phone call to us at the YSQC or the Youth Rochester Monroe County Youth Bureau would be helpful. And then we could probably hook them with different activities from various agencies that they may be interested in supporting.
Okay, that would be great.
We also have our monthly meetings too, and then we have also hosted a legislative event during the year. For instance, this last fall, we also had, or last season,
We had all the
the mayoral
candidates,
candidates were hosting so that they could address all these youth service agencies. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, we want to
just
be
one of the
one of the
things.
youth-bearing or youth organization that has the ability to pull together a forum.
Right.
And that a lot of people are involved in it and trust and respect us. So
Right.
those are the kind of things we're taking on as an organization.
Well, that's wonderful. You ladies are doing great work out there. At this time, I just wanted to offer, do you guys want to make any closing remarks or anything of that nature?
I would say please come on over to the annual breakfast next Friday the 9th at the Hyatt. I guarantee it's going to be a great program. We have a part of our program is youthful entertainment.
Right.
Last year we had an 18-piece jazz ensemble. This year we have a string quartet and a pianist. From
our own schools.
From our own
Oh,
schools.
wow.
Right.
These we always bring our youth agencies involvement, so it's not just adults at the table. We always have youth. So please come.
Youth speaker also.
Call us and we have a youth speaker from Generation Give Back. So that would be great. So please come. We'd love to have you.
Could you just give us that date again?
Yes, it's December 9th, Friday at the Hyatt. Breakfast begins at 8:30 and the program concludes at 11. So we'd love to have you there, and we'll see you at the Hyatt on Friday, December 9th. And the more the merrier.
Great.
Right.
Well, at this time, I'd really like to thank both of you ladies for joining us today on this edition of Citywise.
Thank you, Andrea.
I really appreciate you being here. And I'd like to thank all of you at home for joining us as well. Thank you.
Don't go away. There's more Citywise coming up right after this message.
Are you looking for a special someone to share countless hours of enjoyment, smiles, and laughter? This friend, our pet of the week, is one of dozens of dogs, cats, and other pets and is waiting for a loving home like yours. All dogs and cats are spayed or neutered and vaccinated before leaving the shelter for your home. Why not call 428-7274 or visit Rochester Animal Services today, where there's always someone special waiting for you.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Citywise. My name is Andrea Gazzetta from the City of Rochester. Today on the show, we have three guests from the Rochester City School District's Department of Parent and Community Involvement. Dr. Dwight Fowler, the Director of Parent and Community Involvement, Charmaine Cohen, Parent University Coordinator, and Davis Passmore, Fatherhood Initiative Coordinator. Thank you for joining us today. Dr. Fowler, What exactly is the Department of Parent Community Involvement?
The Department of Parent and Community Involvement is a department of the Rochester City School District located at the Learning Center at 30 Hart Street, Rochester, New York. The department itself, it covers parent engagement and involvement, parent education and training, and we have a component which is known as the customer service. That basically, in a brief manner, is the Department of Parent and Community Involvement.
Okay, great. Now, what exactly are the goals and objectives of the specific department?
The goals and objectives of the Department of Parent and Community Involvement, also known as PCI, is to really reach into the mainstream of the community and to provide education for the parents, to provide support for the parents, to provide training for the parents, to enable the parents to be able to navigate the educational system so that their child, son or daughter or children, can get the best education possible.
That's great. Now, I understand that you have two specific programs, the Fatherhood Involvement and the Parent University.
Actually, we have three. We have a motherhood initiative, we have a fatherhood initiative, and we have a parent university.
Great. Now, what exactly, Charmaine, is the Parent University?
Hi, Andrea. The Parent University is an instructive and enlightening service that provides workshops and trainings for parents in our district from grades K through 12. The mission of the Parent University is to educate and empower our parents. We believe strongly in parent involvement, and we know that that's the key to a child's education. So we want to provide parents with the tools so that they can help their children succeed in the education process.
Great.
And our overall vision is to help parents become decision makers in their child's education and serve as effective parent leaders in our district.
Now, what exactly is the Parent Leadership Academy?
Well, the Parent Leadership Academy is a new initiative that began last school year. It's an opportunity to train parents on how to be leaders and serve in leadership positions such as the school's PTO or the PTA or PTSA, the school-based planning team, which is a major decision-making body in the school, and also to be trained to serve on district organizations and community organizations. Within the Leadership Academy, it's a 4-week training, very intensive, hands-on. Parents get to work on district policies to become more aware of that, national laws like the No Child Left Behind.
Okay.
They find out more about the district's budget process and the district's plan for academic success. Once the parents finish the training, then they are eligible for a certificate of completion at a graduation ceremony. And I have to add, Andrea, that many of our parents, once they've graduated from the program, they've gone on to leadership roles.
That's great. It sounds like an excellent program. How could parents in the district who have students in the district find out about it?
There are several ways. They can contact me directly at 324-9960.
Could you just repeat that again? The number?
324-9960.
Great, thank you.
Sure. And also they can access information about all of our programs on the district website at www.rcsdk12.org, and finally the school calendar.
Okay, that's great. Now, Davis, I understand that you are involved in the father involvement. What exactly is special about this program, particularly in the child's education process?
What's special about it is that we're empowering fathers to be more involved. We have a lot of single mothers out there, but we got those fathers out there. We want to get those fathers within the educational process of our kids. When we found out by data that basically that fathers, when they are involved, the students do better at first suspension, dropout rate, grades. So getting that father involved was increase the academics of a child and child well-being.
That's great. Now, what specifically does it offer to the fathers, and how do you get them involved in this program?
Well, we have several ways of doing it for us to get them involved. We have, first we have the Fatherhood Initiative workshops. Those workshops include what's special about fatherhood involvement in the child education. They get to talk about the data, when they are involved by dropout, the grades, the child well-being. Then we have a Father Initiative Leadership Academy. Father has sometimes is barriers of them coming into the school. Normally when the teacher and administrator call home, they usually ask for mom.
Right.
Some fathers also we call couch potatoes per se. They're the homework and participating for how the child is going to participate in the school.
Right.
Well, father sometimes leave that up to mom.
Right.
And we want to get those fathers involved and let them know that it's important for them to be involved and the child do better.
Absolutely, it is.
And the other one is the basketball program that we had last year, and that was very special. Basically, we had about 10 schools to participate in it, and those fathers came in and played basketball against other schools, but also they had to go to workshops. They had to go to workshop about what's special about fatherhood, how to communicate better with the mother, communicate better with the school, how to participate also as the conference, as for parent-teacher conference in the school.
Right.
And the other one, the last one, is school support. Fathers within each school, we have to organize a support system. Basically, they should be part of the parent group, the PTA. We want those fathers to come in to be leaders.
Right.
So those are the 4 programs, how we get those involved.
They sound great. And now how would a father find out more information about this initiative? Is this also on the City School District's website?
Absolutely. They're in the calendar, on the website, and call our office 262-8000, extension 1190. My extension is 1201 in case they want to call me directly.
Great.
But those are the ways that they
Thank
can
you.
get from us.
Now, Dr. Fowler, I just have a few more questions for you regarding the Department of Parent Community Involvement. How exactly does it foster the parent involvement? How do you get them involved?
We promote it a number of different ways. Among them, we actually make contact with the schools. We have what are known as parent liaisons, and consequently the parent liaisons contact parents along with our office to let them know about the possibility of them having parent groups. And those parent groups come together and are either structured as a PTO, Parent Teachers Organization, a PTA, Parent Teachers Association, or PTSA, Parent Teachers Student Association. And we promote those parents in such a way that we enable them to be empowered to become part of school-based planning teams and get them engaged into the mainstream of the educational system. Again, the prime objective is so that the student can get the best education possible. We also enable them to know that there are other components within the city school district that network with us, such as the bilingual department, such as the customer service department, as well as department known as the Rochester Children's Zone, all of which interact with our department for the educational process that the parent needs in order to navigate themselves for their children.
Well, these sound like great programs. Are you getting a lot of positive feedback from the participants in your 2 programs?
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, many of the parents who have graduated, we've graduated 105 parents from this training. A number of them have gone on to run for president of their school's PTO or PTA. They've run for a school-based planning team representative. A number of them are working on a campaign that supports an educational bill. So the feedback has been wonderful. We even have a growing population of grandparents who are now tapping into the Leadership Academy, and we're happy about that because that is a growing population in our district.
Okay, that's great. And how about you?
Well, actually, yes. Wilson have a father support group over there called the Wilson Father United. 3 weeks ago, we had at the Olympic Bowl, we had over 100 and some fathers and mothers and kids came out and part of the activity as far as fathers being involved, and they were well received. The basketball piece, last year we had over 161 fathers participating in that, and with 10 different schools.
This is great. Now, for the people who have participated in your programs, are you seeing positive changes in them in terms of their activities within their child's education?
Yes.
Yes, that's great.
Yes. When I say yes, it's all about, like last night we had a workshop, and one father, he had his son there. He understands academics, in other words, what required of his son in different grade level. You understand the jargon that they use in the school,
right?
And all those deals. So he was well prepared at going into a parent-teacher conference, going in and talking to teachers. He know what the goals are for the child.
That's wonderful. And now, the people who participate, is it mainly parents of high school students, elementary students, or do you have a pretty even mix?
It's a pretty even mix. It's open to all parents K through 12. Generally, we get a lot of parents who are at the elementary level, but we strongly encourage parents at all grade levels to participate because the information shared can be used across the board.
Absolutely.
That's great. Now, I just have another question. Are a lot of the people who you have in your program, in the Fatherhood Involvement Program, do they participate in your program as well, or is it just one or the other? Or do you see a lot of the crossover?
There's a lot of crossover. For example, some parents or fathers who go through my leadership training, they become more interested in being a part of the Fatherhood Initiative and vice versa.
Great. It sounds like the parents really recruit other people. That's wonderful. I just want to offer you this opportunity. If any of the three of you have any closing remarks or anything that you want to let our viewers at home know about how to get in contact with you, other than the website, things of that nature.
I just think it's vitally important to also be aware that we have the Motherhood Initiative, as I said, historically.
Right.
And in that area, Kathy Little is our parent educator. She focuses on secondary education, preparing for college transition, high school, supporting parent groups, and she engages in also educating parents so that they will learn how to navigate the system, as do those of us who are here. Our number is 262-8000-1190, and my personal number is 1192.
That's great. And I also understand there's an event next week, if you want to tell us about that.
Yes, there is a Pathways to Your Child's Future that's going to be taking place at 353 Congress Avenue between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. on Thursday. And this is under the supervision of our parent educator, Kathy Little.
And now, does this happen every year? It's an annual event?
This particular event is a new event, and I suspect that it may be something that will be ongoing.
Great. Well, I would just like to take this time to thank my three guests for joining us today on this edition of Citywise, and also to thank you at home.
If you have questions or comments on this program or suggestions for future programs, give us a call at 428-6064 or visit the city's homepage at www.cityofrochester.gov.